Hi, welcome to me and Mediumship. Haven't done a video for a while. Been very busy with Patreon and trying to fit everybody in and do videos at the same time is proving a little difficult, but here we are. We made it at last. So welcome to the channel. Please like and subscribe. It helps me an awful lot, more than what you can imagine. So if you can do that for me, that would be absolutely wonderful. I'm going to talk about trust. It's something that comes up an awful lot with the students, and obviously it's confidence and trust, and it's something that can hinder you obviously early on. Now, the last thing you want to do is be a bag of nerves, and don't do what I did on one demonstration where you actually think it would be a good idea to fall up the steps. That doesn't help, so please don't do that. Anyway, yes, so you've got to get in your mind set, really, the fact that you are the middleman, middle lady, whatever. You are the receiver of information. So you don't want anything getting in the way of that. You need to be clear. You need to be precise with the evidence that you're receiving, and you don't want to be, like I said, a bag of nerves. You need to come across confident, and that's something obviously that comes with time. But you need to try and get in your minds that the energy that you are working with is one that will not let you down. Once you start to accept that very fact, then you will find that your confidence will grow, because, like I said, they will not just leave you there on that podium, on that stage, in that seat around someone's home when you're given a reading. They will just not leave you stranded there, sitting there like a lemon. That is something that will not happen. Once you accept that fact, and you will, obviously it takes time, but once you accept that fact that spirit never let you down, then things will be a lot more simpler for you. You will feel a lot more ease, and obviously be able to give that evidence a lot clearer. And it's it's across the board really, with people that are quite new to doing their sittings and doing their demonstrations. And to say nobody has a little bit of nerves here and there would be completely wrong, because it doesn't matter how long you've been practicing your mediumship, there is always going to be that element of nervousness there. I mean, especially on demonstrations, because obviously you've got all those people sat there all staring at you, waiting for you, if you like, to perform. And obviously mediumship, as we've said many times before, is not something we can guarantee. There are many elements to it, many things that can affect that line of communication. And it's best, like I've said before, if you're under the weather and if you're ill, then it's best to rebook for another evening, or try and get somebody to stand in for you, because illness does affect the way that we communicate with spirit. There has to be that balance, mind, body, spirit. And if the body is not well, then it can cause you to struggle with your demonstration. So don't do what I did in the early days and try and be the hero, and maybe you're full of cold or whatever, or under the weather, or there's personal things going on, and you go out there and you struggle with your demonstration. It's not fair on you, and it's not fair on the people out there waiting for you to give some evidence. They're sitting there full of anticipation, and you struggle. It doesn't do our cause any favors whatsoever. It's always best to just cancel, like I said, and rebook or whatever. If you can get somebody to stand in for you, that always helps. So on the nervousness side of things, like I said, Once you understand that spirit will not leave your side, okay, they will not let you down, then it will help you immensely. You just need to get that into your mindset, that the best thing to do is not think about necessarily what you're going to be doing, but just let it go. Just let that nervousness go, blank the mind if you like. Just go out there, attune, which you would have done obviously before you actually start to demonstrate. Be in the right frame of mind, be in a positive frame of mind, and let spirit do the work for you. Obviously, we have our part to play. It's not just spirit's job to give evidence. It's the way we portray that evidence too. And another thing, obviously, is we must trust what we receive. So we don't only trust the fact that spirit are there, we must trust what we are receiving and give it. Doesn't matter how small it may seem, small statement, an image that you think, you start to question it and think, well, that's a bit strange, I'm not giving that. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes you'll ever make. So always give what you receive, because it will mean something. If you are a little unsure, it's important also that you question. Spirit communicate, and we communicate. It's a two-way communication. So if we're a little unclear about something, it's important that we give that back to spirit and we say, I'm a little unsure, what do you mean? It's always worth just questioning out loud, through your thought, doesn't matter how you do it. But if you're a little unclear about something, just ask for a bit more clarity on what you are receiving. And like I've said a million times before, we are dealing with energy of spirit, the same energy of your spirit. The two energies merging together. There has to be that communication line open. You have to be open for spirit, just the same as they are open for you. They lower their vibration, we heighten our vibration, and as those two energies merge is where we pick up upon that conscious thought, if you like, that conscious energy that's there with spirit, and we pick up upon that and we communicate. So if you're unsure, communicate. Don't stand there and let spirit do all the work and just give information. Question, answer, and give thanks. Many of the students on some of their first demonstrations, if you like, or some of their sittings, find it astounding really how they feel that personality, like mannerisms, and they even say things in the same tone as what the energy would have done whilst embodying. That, for me personally, is a good line of communication, and that personality kind of takes over you, if you like, and you start sometimes the way you move, sometimes the way you make statements. People say, it's absolutely amazing. That's exactly how Dad would have said that. Mum would have said that. That's exactly what they said and how they said it. So that's a good sign that you've got a good line of communication there, and it's open and it's strong. So trust, it all boils down to you, really. You need to trust the spirit energy that works with you during demonstration. Okay, there won't be something on the telly over there that they're going to go and watch and leave you stranded. That's not going to happen. Okay, they will work as hard as you work, and they, to be honest, can find it just as difficult to get information through to us as we do receiving it. And some energies are better than others. So if you have a communication that you feel is quite weak or you're struggling with, ask your helpers to help them draw closer to you. They won't help you unless you ask. And like I said, it's also important as well that you give thanks. I always say thank you after each statement that is made, because each statement in itself is wonderful. Doesn't matter how small it is. And the amount of effort that goes in to either making that statement, to either give or giving you an image, or whatever sense it is that you use, the amount of effort that goes into passing that information onto you is immense. I always think it's well worth saying thank you after every little statement I get. And I'll do that as a whisper or I'll do it as a thought. So we must give thanks. And I'm sure Spirit are just as thankful to us for what we do. Because what we do can only do good for this world, really. Another element that comes up sometimes as well is how Spirit portray themselves to us. We do very often get younger images come through to us of loved ones that are past. We get that because that is probably when they were at their best within the body, and they like to portray that across to their loved ones. They are healthy, they are fit, they are well. And one way of portraying that is to come across in a way like a younger version. It's only a pity we can't do that whilst we're in body, actually, isn't it? Just portray ourselves as someone who's, I suppose some people do try that, but yeah, I just wish I looked 21 again, but never mind. So, when Spirit come through to us, it's a thought image. It is not how they look. So we need to grasp that as well, to understand the fact that Spirit, when they pass that image on to us, it's coming through, if you like, on thought, like a thought wave. So it's an image they are portraying. So when we describe the energy that we have, we can get acknowledgement from our sitters that they understand who it is. Yes, that's how they looked. It simply kind of ticks the box, if you like, to prove that it is that relative, that loved one. Energy does not come in a bodily form. Energy is in spherical form, really. Most scientists will tell you that most energy, if it materializes, would materialize in a sphere-like shape, if you like, hence orbs. And that's another, obviously, question. Lots of people talk about orbs, which I'll talk about another time. But there's definitely a difference between dust and orbs. And sometimes, yeah, it's literally just dust. But orbs move, certainly in a far different manner to what dust moves. And, there is a way of telling the difference between the two. But with materialization of energy, with materialization of spirit, if you like, when spirit materializes itself in a bodily form, if you like, that materialization happens through the energy of consciousness, of thought, and to make itself known. We wouldn't know who that energy was without the materialization aspect of it, when we've been fortunate enough to see a materialization happen, and the same within our mind's eye, if you like. That figure that we sense and pick up and see is one of thought form. It is formed through that conscious energy. Many people will argue that, and many people will say that spirit walks around how it looked here on this plane. Unfortunately, that is not correct. We see them, and we can see them in a way so real looking, so convincing that they are a solid body. But that's not the case. It is energy that we are seeing forming before us or within our mind's eye. A conscious thought energy. Same with sound. We don't physically hear spirit. It's got no link whatsoever with our hearing. You can be deaf as a post, if you like, and you can still hear spirit, because it is a sense of hearing. It is the energy, the vibration of that comes in, and you will sense it as a spoken word, that whisper. So when we sit in the power and we are expanding our energy, and the emergence of the energy happens with that spirit that is around us, we are two spirits merging in a way as one. So we've got the emergence there, so that we are sensing, we are picking up upon that conscious thought of that energy. And it's the same for spirit. They are doing exactly the same as what we're doing. We have the barrier of the body and the mind. They have the barrier of the vast difference in vibration. As we expand, we are obviously heightening our vibration to reach out to them through that expansion of self, that energy expansion. Spirit are lowering their vibration. They don't have the barrier of the body, but it is difficult to lower a vibration to such a degree that we can merge with it. For them, it is difficult. So sometimes when we struggle with our readings and our demonstrations, and then we all start to panic, and all we're doing by panicking, basically, all we're doing is we are pulling away. We are allowing that bodily function of panic, if you like, and nervousness to stand in the way of that communication. So learn to trust. They will not, like I said, leave you there alone. And for many of you already working away as mediums, understand just how close they are to us most of the time. That veil is very, very thin. It's a very, very thin veil. I mean, energy is around us all the time in all different shapes and forms. And spirit is part of that energy that vibrates around us. So don't panic on that first reading. Don't panic on that first demonstration. Spirit are there. If evidence that you give is slightly wrong or totally wrong, don't panic, because there are two elements of struggle. Not just you getting that information wrong. Spirit are trying their best to get that information across to you in a correct manner. It may well be that that line of communication is not clear enough. There are elements of distraction within that. There are elements of struggle on both sides. Obviously, there's you trying to heighten your vibration. You have spirit trying to lower their vibration. All sorts of different elements going on. So if a piece of information gets mixed up, comes across in the wrong way, then don't worry. What you do is by simply asking spirit to reaffirm that piece of information, by simply asking, you are clearing that line of communication for spirit to try again. So it's important that you don't stand there and panic or sit there and panic. You simply say, I'm sorry, this is not being taken. Can you help me with this? Obviously, you are working at quite a speed as well, because images can come in very, very quickly. Statements can come in very, very quickly, and you're working away. And obviously you are also working with your sitter. So you need to give that information as it's coming in. So it's quite a fast process, but over time you learn to control that. And you can ask for the information just to slow down a bit if it's coming in too fast. Ask. You should have built up that relationship before demonstrating with the energies that work with you anyway. You've already built that relationship up. Okay, they know what you're thinking. They know where you're struggling. Just be open with the energies that work with you, and ask for that help if you're struggling. Don't just stand there and panic. It's easy said. It is very easy said. I appreciate that. But it will come with time. And as you realise, spirit never let you down. And you realise we do all get things wrong. It happens to us all. But if we work hard enough with the energies that work with us, and we build that relationship through sitting and in the power, and make it a regular thing that you do, then the wrong statements will become less and less, and your trust will build. So don't give up just because you have a bad night. That happens to everybody. There are lots of things going on in the background, lots of elements with this. Okay, it's not an easy task, but it becomes easier over time. I hope you enjoyed that video. It's just something that's spoken of an awful lot with the students on Patreon. And, it's just building their confidence. And where I sense and I feel with some of the students, they are certainly ready to go and give a reading for someone. And with a little bit of gentle persuasion, they've gone off and done it and have been amazed. And I've been amazed as well with some of the information that they are receiving. It's wonderful. And the smiles on their faces when they tell me all about the readings they have done, it means the world to me. It means an awful lot. So have a great evening. Sorry about the lack of videos just recently, but like I said, it's busy. We're working away, working for spirit, and I love every minute of it. So take care, and I'll speak to you again very soon. I'll put the link to Patreon at the bottom of the description, should anybody be interested. Our next circle's coming up first Wednesday of April. First one was great, and second one we'll be doing April. So if you'd like to join up with us on that evening, then feel free to go onto Patreon, sign up for it, and I look forward to meeting you then. So take care, have a wonderful evening, and it's bye for now.